And by her choice, we had a Batman-themed wedding. And I don't mean I wore a Batman shirt underneath my tuxedo. I dressed up like the real Batman for my wedding service. She dressed up like Batgirl. My best man dressed up like Robin. I mean the 1966 Burt Ward Robin with the tight green Speedo shorts that went all the way up his thighs, which, yeah, kind of upset me because he did not ask to borrow those. I would have washed him. He's my best man, you know. We decorated the reception hall with the Bams and Pows like the old Adam West TV series, and instead of getting a limousine, we actually rented a Batmobile for us to ride off in at the end of the night. Yeah, it shot fire. I'll show anybody pictures. The only part of my Batman wedding I did not like was the part where my parents got murdered in an alley. But it's what my wife wanted. It was her special day, and happy wife, happy life. That's what my dad used to say. Used to, because murder, you guys are smart. You got that fast. Good job. You guys got to stay in your toes with me. Yeah, my wife's a nerd. She's not as nerdy as me, though. For the first year and a half that we dated, every Monday night she watched WWE Monday Night Raw with me. I'm like, this is awesome. I found a girl that likes wrestling. I didn't think these exist. After a year and a half, she's like, this is the dumbest crap I've ever watched. She's like, can we please watch something else? And I felt bad. You know, she was doing something she didn't want to do, but I knew what the right thing to do was, and I gave her the remote. And you should have saw she had the most beautiful, happy smile on her face. And she pointed the remote to television, but before she could turn the channel, I hit her in the back with a chair. And I was like, clearly you have not been paying attention to wrestling at all the last year and a half. She didn't see the flying elbow off the couch either, and I pinned her. I am the champion, so I walk around my house like a Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm like, you weren't thinking, Elizabeth. And she hates that because her name's not Elizabeth, but my ex-girlfriend is. Don't take her side. She paid attention to wrestling. She'd understand the reference, okay? Until then, she can snap into a Slim Jim. Like 4 people remember that. Happily married. Can't ever say that enough. I am happily married. I am married to a beautiful woman. Shortly after we got married, my brother and I, we got arrested for fighting in public, and she bailed us out. You gotta love somebody to do something like that. And I wish I could tell you guys, like, we went to a bar, we started some trouble, trying to be these tough guys, when in reality, we were at a Dungeons & Dragons tournament that got completely out of control. I wish I was making that part up. If you don't know anything about Dungeons & Dragons, that means you were cool in high school. But if you're like me, if you get arrested in this day and age, this is what happens. You get arrested, you're taken downtown, you're put in a holding cell. After you simmer down, police officer escorts you from the holding cell to the telephone for your constitutional phone call. Officer will hand you the receiver in your hand. If you're anything like me, you'll look at the telephone at the police station and realize you have no idea what anybody's phone number is anymore. That's a big deal. Officer looks at me like I'm stupid. He goes, how do you not know a single phone number? I'm like, officer, I haven't had a phone number in like 10 years. No one has their house phone anymore. I know 2 phone numbers by heart. Mine and 911. Which stinks because we're both here. And neither of us are helping me right now. All right, if you don't know anything about Dungeons & Dragons, I'm not going to bore you about the details of the game. Everything I tell you about that night, you'll kind of understand. So when me and my brother play Dungeons & Dragons, we have our own special outfits that we wear, okay? We show up in game night in our outfits. We don't bring a spare change of clothes. And if you get arrested in a small town like we did, if you're fully clothed, they don't give you one of those jumpsuits to change into, so you're wearing what you were wearing that night where you got in trouble in the first place. Okay? You're also sharing the jail cell with other people who got in trouble. That night there was a gentleman. He was about 6'5", 250 pounds of jacked muscle. He had on jean shorts. He had one of those undershirts. He had a bald head with a tattoo on his head. And he's looking at me and my brother as we are donned in our cloaks and our capes. And this guy's got some questions. And my brother stayed in his character. This guy's like, what happened to you two? My brother's like, a wizard poisoned my dragon. I hit him in the head with a battle axe. And that guy did not mess with us for the whole night.